bell has sounded. We are underway, ladies and gentlemen. Dos Caliente, no strangers to working together. Perhaps the only team to really work together out of the 6 that we see here as their partner, Dynamite Pegasus. I would say that this is probably not a very good start-off position against the Monster Man, who has already taken a great deal of support here at SoCal.
I don't know if there's any good starting position against the Monster Man. He stands head and shoulders above every single person in that ring, really living up to his name, Monster Man. And Dynamite Pegasus trying to chop down that great oak, but he's gonna need some bigger tools than just those leg kicks.
Speaking of leg kicks, the nice little kangaroo drop kick, jump down as Dynamite Pegasus shooting that arrow, heading to the buckle, up and over, sent by Dave Ridgway. Might have even caught his chin on the way down. Oh, nice little chop, but very little effect on the Monster Man.
A couple shoulders to the gut, though, has some effect.
Up and over sunset flip, perhaps, as Dave Ridgway hangs on, goes to that punch, nobody home. Drop kick back down to the corner. David Ridgway, and not in a very good way right now, as Dynamite Pegasus appears to have the upper hand, but I would definitely not flaunt if I was him. I would definitely not go out there and just think that everything is okay. It's not. You have a tremendous amount of work ahead of you.
And it's definitely interesting that these competitors have been put together. Frankie Flaco, as you remember, suffered the brunt of Monster Man's wrath while inside the 2024 SoCal Pro Rumble. But it seems they put bygones be bygones.
Fantastic double team move. Back down to the cover is only a count of 2. As Frankie Flaco is not in a good way right now.
And like you mentioned, Dos Calientes, they're used to working with each other. They've got that 6th sense of knowing what the other's doing, and that's definitely going to play a factor in this matchup this evening.
Nice Japanese arm drag into the worm. As Caliente, nice standing splash into the cover. Just a count of 2. Unbelievable action already here at SoCal Pro.
Now, a little bit of insight, the worm, many people will say that that's a waste of time. No, no, no. It actually, you draw energy from the earth very much like a worm.
Ah, is that what happened?
No, not even a little bit.
Oh, I see. I see. Well, you know, it's always good to have your insight in here. Oh, big drop kick as Flaco now takes back control. Perhaps here to the drop. Wow, fantastically done. Into the cover. 1, 2. Just a count of 2. We are still really early on in this contest. This is still anybody's game for sure.
Frankie Flaco definitely showing disrespect as you saw him put palm to the face. And he paid the price as the more experienced Don Caliente was able to scout out that move that we've seen Frankie Flaco use.
Frankie Flaco is in incredible shape, probably another great up-and-coming star, as is this man, Zuke. This young man has a lot of potential.
Definitely a lot of potential, a lot of fire. We saw him take out both of Dos Caliente with a flying crossbody last time we saw him in this ring.
Jockeying for a position now is both men. But nice little knee to the back, forearm to the back. Back goes Zuke. Sent over to the side there, ducking the clothesline, coming back up, maybe tilt-a-whirl, down he goes.
Big head scissors from Zuke, the man with one singular name. An attribute he shares with Cher, but that's pretty much it.
Zuke now going to the top rope, big crossbody. Only a count of 2. Seeing a lot of 2 counts here. A lot of people that are trying to maybe put away their opponents maybe a little bit too early. But again, it speaks a lot to the amount of inexperience that we see in this ring. A lot of newcomers, a lot of young faces, a lot of fresh kids, very hungry, albeit very inexperienced.
Definitely very hungry. You can see that hunger, but like you mentioned, the inexperience, you can't cover too early, or else you risk losing the position that you're in for going for that pin.
Big knife edge chops there. by Zuke.
Hear those knife edge chops wearing down. It's not going to put away an opponent, but it will wear down the opponent. The more you suffer chops like that, the more it gets in your head, the stinging pain that you experience in your chest.
Not to mention the fact that the audience loves things like that. So if anybody gives you those, you're always on the opposing side of the audience, even if they end up loving you when you first come out. Big drop toe hold, Zuke's face down to the buckle. And a disgusting drop kick in there. That might be it. Zuke might be in trouble here. Into the cover, one.
Gustavo is definitely paying back the favor of those knife edge chops by trying to cave in the chest of Zuke with that big drop kick in the corner.
And how disrespected must Gustavo feel knowing that Zuke kicked out, not even at a count of one?
Well, that just goes to that fire that we were talking about earlier. You can do a lot when that adrenaline is pumping. This is the first time that Zuke has been in a SoCal Pro Wrestling ring since the 2024 Rumble. Side effect from Dynamite Pegasus. This time a count of two, but a close count of two.
Well, at least you stayed down for the count of two. Maybe this is meaning that Zuke is ever more dangerously close to perhaps keeping his shoulders on the mat for far too long. It's Don Caliente now in there. Going for the suplex, burst by Zuke.
Definitely. Oh, and we just saw a kick to the back from Gustavo. The other member of Dos Caliente, definitely more aggressive than we've seen.
Yes, you don't typically see that on that side of the aisle. This is quite surprising, to say the least.
I spoke to Dos Caliente before this match, and they mentioned how dead set they are to return to the title scene in SoCal Pro Wrestling in the tag team division. And we may be seeing a little bit more aggressiveness going forward, especially from Gustavo Perez. Always the more serious of Dos Caliente.
Yeah, the singing and the dancing kind of stops there with Gustavo. He's very much a man of passion, very much a man of business, especially against Zuke, who is definitely a formidable opponent. I will say that. Drop kick to the knee, down goes Zuke. Back up, and Zuke needs to get out of there. He is in trouble here. Very nice suplex.
Most death in trouble indeed, my dude. Count of two. You can see as the match progresses, Zuke is getting later and later to tag out, to kick out, rather, of those pins.
Must be that adrenaline with Zuke. It might be starting to wear thin as we now trade punches. Zuke more so on the upper end here.
Zuke maybe feeling it a little bit too much as he takes a heel kick to the dome from Gustavo Perez.
Looks like the top of the head there, and that's right there. That's a very dangerous part to get kicked. That's where concussions and stuff come from.
Gustavo trying to go to the well too many times, saw that the kick worked, went for it again, and this time Zuke ducked, going for the tag.
Big DDT as both men are down. Who's going to be able to reach their corner first? That is the question here.
And I'm afraid we're seeing that fire stamped out in Zuke. Slow to get up. Both of these contestants are slow to get up. The damage that they've received from each other, you can see the desire to win because they know the more you win in this division, the better your chances are facing the Lucha Kings.
And look at that, facing the Lucha Kings indeed, but Dave Ridgway, again, this monster man, they don't call him that for nothing. This man has had all match, the entire match, to sit out there and rest, coming in here with an absolute chip on his shoulder, going out to punish every single person that stands in his way. But Dos Caliente coming back with those kicks to the face. Sending now Dave Ridgway on to the opposite end.
You saw Dave Ridgway going for that big move, the pedigree. And speaking of pedigree, you can see the training that Dave Ridgway has received from the Black and Brave Wrestling Academy, taught by Seth Rollins.
But Dos Caliente, nevertheless, is still up on this. Perhaps going to the outside. Topes to the outside.
Caliente! Front row tickets, first class.
Oh, but look what happened. They left Dynamite Pegasus in the ring there. He is in a lot of trouble as one-on-one Dave Ridgway has yet to be defeated. Oh my goodness. The pedigree didn't get all of it, but would that be enough? On the count of 3.
When you're as big as Dave Ridgway, you don't need to get all of it.